right-handed. I speak species.
Dimitri, did you wear your star shirt for us today?
Yes.
Whenever you're ready. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. We're running up this now. Let me turn off this projector.
Okay.
You're not using it, right?
No, ma'am.
Is anybody else using it? I can't remember. You want me to do it today again?
I'm using it.
Okay.
Alright, good afternoon everybody. How are y'all doing today?
Great.
So, I gotta ask y'all a question, or not necessarily a question. I was watching a game show the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and asked the audience and the contestants, what's the most boring sport to watch in America? Tennis, bowling, darts. Nope, it was the game of golf. So, my goal today is to make this game, the most boring game in America, less boring and more interesting for y'all. Even one of the top 3 golfers ever to play the game, Arnold Palmer, quoted, "Golf is deceptively simple and endlessly complicated." So when it comes to my experience, I've played golf for about 7 years, started competing around 7th grade. I attended Wake Forest Golf Camp 2 years in a row, and there were many Division I coaches there from Wake Forest to Memphis University, so I got to learn a lot of things about the game and about life overall. During my senior year of high school, I qualified regionally for the state championship. However, didn't do so well, but it was a great experience. I probably could have gone and played Division III golf for a small school, but I decided not to do that, and down here, can't wait to teach you all about the game. So, my name is Nicholas Hunt, and I'm going to talk to you about 3 important aspects of the golf swing today. The first one will be grip, the second one will be stance and posture, and the third one will be ball position. So let's get started. So the first one is grip. Now, do you remember like in the campfires or like flashlights, you do like the animals like the wolf or like the gun and the rabbit? Well, ironically, these have to do with gripping a golf club. So when you do the wolf, the thumb and the index finger are always apart or same. They don't go apart or anything. Now this has to do with gripping a golf club. When you first grip the golf club, for all us right-handed people, you want to use your left hand, and you never want your index finger and your thumb to be apart. This helps with your control, and ultimately the grip is about controlling the club face when in the backswing and at impact with the ball. Now, once we get this done, now pretend you have a gun. Just put the gun over your left thumb, and then you interlock. This is how you start the grip of a golf club. Can everybody see it? Now, there's 2 ways to grip a golf club. This is the way I was taught, and it's interlocking. You use your right pinky finger and your left index finger, and then you just interlock. The other way you can do it is just by overlapping. The way you do this is you just overlap your pinky finger over your left index finger. Nothing too hard at all. Now, when it comes to hand position and how we grip it, now let's pretend this club is a clock and it's pointing at 12 o'clock. Well, when you position your thumb on there, your left thumb, you want it about in between 12 and 1 o'clock. This helps, again, controls the club face. And then like I said earlier, pretend you have a gun, and then just overlap over your left hand. And then those are 3 basics when it comes to gripping a golf club. So next, let's move on to stance and posture. Now, ironically, this is how golf is very common to other sports. So, pretend you're shooting a basketball. You want your shoulders square, knees bent, going to the target, which is the basket. Or even tennis. You try to motion the way and be balanced whenever you want to get on the other side of the court. Now, when it comes to stance and posture in a golf club, you want to be about shoulders length. Now, I have a wedge in my hand, and that's about typically what you want. Now, let's say I have a driver or a 3-wood, which is a higher club and a longer club. You're going to want about widen your stance a little bit over shoulder length, as this helps you control have more control, it has more space and room for you to allow to swing the golf club. The second thing is you want your shoulders squared to the target, as this helps control, again, with your alignment. You don't want to be slouched like we are right now. You don't want to be too laid back. You want to be nice and comfortable to allow hip movement, which is the main focus of a golf swing. The other thing is you want your knees bent. If you don't have your knees bent, then you're not going to be comfortable or you're not going to have any control. You want to get your butt down. And like I said, it's all about hip movement in golf. The biggest common amateur move when it comes to a golf swing, you're using your arms. However, you're supposed to use your hips to move your arms, not your arms to move your hips. And that's how it's very difficult for amateur players and starters, including myself. Now, the last thing it comes to stance and posture, it comes with alignment, and it's all about your belt buckle. Just looking down can help you align to your target. So, what I do when I go to target, say I'm pointing at the camera. I'll look at my belt buckle, and then I get in my stance, shoulders square, my feet are in position. Simple as that. There was a study done by Stanford University and by their biomechanics lab, and they tested about the biomechanics of a golf swing. The most common thing about, or reason why people get injuries in golf is because they are uncomfortable. So you have to find your comfort zone to prevent injury and ultimately help your game. The last thing I want to talk about today is ball position. And so I have a wedge in my hand, and wedges are typically used about 100 yards in end and around the green. Now, when it comes to a ball position, you want it about mid-stance, like right where your nose is. Now, let's say I wanted to go to a driver or a longer club. You're going to put it about where your left thigh is. This because I said it's a longer club, you need more space to get through the ball. Now, the other thing, which is just unlike any other clubs, is the putter. You're on a flat surface, and it's a totally different stroke. Now, ironically, it's about in between. So I went from my nose to my thigh. You're going to want it about right in between, as putting is just like a pendulum. You want the same force back going forward. And also, when it comes to ball position, it helps occur your ball flight. So you may want it in the back of your stance if you're wanting to get out of a tough spot, or if you want in the front of your stance if you're wanting to hit the ball higher instead of hitting it low. So today I went over the 3 basic mechanics of a golf swing. The first one was grip, the second one was stance and posture, and the third one was ball position. By knowing these basics, I hope you have learned something new, and that will encourage you to go play sometime soon, or just maintain a better interest in this complicated game. Now, when one of y'all goes and plays in a tournament, however, within the next year, I want 50% of that purse because I gained that interest and I maybe taught y'all something. You know, even pro tour players have lessons and they get paid. So I'll give you my number after this, and don't forget to hit me up. Thank you.